What's up, everybody? Out the Pal 78 coming at you with this new video. Okay, we're gonna keep continuing with Mel's Kitchen, but today is step 8 or 9. I forgot what number I'm on already, and we're just gonna do some front end designing with Bootstrap. Now, I looked something up to help me learn how to do the design with Bootstrap because I had an idea, but I forgot how to do it because I haven't done it in a while. I had an idea. All right, first things first, we want to go to Font Awesome. We're gonna get the CDN. You see how it says later the foundation, load all styles. Well, we're gonna come to this link right here. Okay. If I click in here and I try, that's what I don't like. Okay, that got everything. We're gonna copy this link, and I just want to let you know I deleted everything out my models, register HTML file, and login because we're gonna do this. We're just gonna redo it. We're gonna redo the whole style, and all that other stuff just got in the way. So we're gonna have to copy and paste anyways. So that's what we're gonna do. So I got my layout open. So if you really want to get this in the layout, I deleted something on my index as well. Everything on the top. So those 3 breaks on the top, I realized that's, remember when my well, you'll see it, but when my header, my nav bar was down a little bit, that's what it was. I'm like, all right. So in here, we're gonna add some stuff on the top. Nothing in the bottom, and here we're gonna redo everything, but in the layout we gotta add the font awesome because we're gonna use some font awesome stuff. It's gonna be really cool. So let's paste that in here, and what I like to do is I always like to bring this down like that, and we can even bring the href down so it looks cool and we can see it nicer. Let's save that for now. The second thing we want to do, as you can see, we got the root folder, we got CSS, and I added this image folder. I'm gonna delete it so we could start that from scratch too. All right, add new folder. We're gonna call it images, and this is where image. I don't know how to spell images. This is where we're gonna save our images folders and all our images. Now I have a couple of images I'm gonna use. Before we go any further, in the head, we could do this in the head. We want to create a new CSS file. So in this new CSS file, that's where we're going to put this font awesome that I'm going to get. So as you can see, if you Google, let's go. If you Google font awesome CDN, that's what this is. And you go down, this is the link. That's all you need. We're not going to go any crazy with it. So that's what that is. If you do Google fonts, if you Google fonts, that sounds better. We could come in here. And there's this lobster font or something like that. Yeah, this lobster font is beautiful. I like this lobster font. I don't even know which one I like better. They're both nice. This one's kind of, for what I want, I like that one. So the good thing is we could use the regular one. We could use the bold 700, bold italic, whatever. But we're just going to use regular. We're going to click here. So we don't have to put another link in there. I mean, yeah, because we're only going to need this inside. We could put the link in here, or we could click the import and use that in our CSS. Well, I think I'm just going to use it inside the CSS. So instead of clicking the style part, we're going to just copy this. And now we're going to get into the actual how to use the CSS inside here, only for the new CSS file we're going to make. So we gotta add new item, right? If it opens to how I like it, then it's cool, but it didn't. So I always do this, and content. So there's not too much stuff you need to worry about. Style sheet is a type of content. I'm gonna call this log, or I like to camel case it. So log or reg for login or register or create. But if I press add right here, it's gonna make it a CSS file. Okay, so we gotta go back to the layout. This is how we say only use it for that file. We're gonna go to add. What am I doing? Render section. Now this right here is gonna be the any name you want in here. We want it to render false. So whatever name you want in here. So you could put LG for log and reg, or you could put log or reg. Oh, you could camel case it like I had it. So let's do it like that. So we know it's for login or registration. And we're gonna double click and press Control C. And I'm gonna Control S it. Now that's saved and everything looks good. You could actually put this anywhere you want in this file. As long as it's inside the HTML documentation, it doesn't matter. You could probably put it outside the documentation. I didn't try, but that's all you need for right now. I always like to put a space between these things. So this is the trick, and it got me so confused trying to read it and understand it, even on Stack Overflow. We're not doing anything inside there yet. We're going to go to the index. In the index, we had to put at section. All right, we put the space, Control V. And then we put the curly braces in here, right? And now we're inside, so we press enter. In here, we're gonna put the link, this stuff right here. So in this href, because we know it's a style sheet, you could put // and it's gonna bring up all your stuff. I think there's an easier way, maybe this tilde thing / there, that works too. So it's easier, double click, login reg. And now we can mess with login reg inside the information right here. So the first thing I like to do is HTML, body, comma body, yeah, body. And we do this right here. And we put some information in here. Like I want to do a background. So let's go get the image before I go crazy. I already know which image it is. It's not in there, it's right here. It's in an old version of this. It's in the same thing as images because that's how we use it. And it's going to be this relleno de papa one. We call it relleno. So we could just press Control C, exit out of there, come back over here to image, press Control V, and you should see it in there. And if you highlight over it, it'll show you what picture it is. And well, that's the first thing we're going to do in here. Actually, you know what? I didn't put the H. Okay, but the first thing we want to do is, so we don't forget, and since I messed it up and I forgot to keep the lobster one. All right, it'll have the lobster too. We go back over here, we put the at import, we copy this part right here, exit back out of that, and then just put that in here. That's it. That's your at import URL. It's gonna give you the lobster family. In here, we're gonna put background image, /image, and your image is gonna be a URL. And this works too, exactly like that. You see how it has the / right there? You can just click on it, double click it, and there's only one picture. You always want to close that out with a semicolon in CSS. We want to have the background size to be cover. We want it to cover it all, right? And the background, let's see what we want the background. Let me see, what am I looking for in the background? Repeat, that's what it is. No repeat, we don't want it to repeat ever. I don't think we really need that after we put cover, but just in case. And height, we want it to be at 100%. Excuse me. That's that. That's what we're gonna do for the HTML and the body right there. And that's all we need for that for right now. I'm not gonna do too much right here yet. Let's get styling this right here. This index got what we need. So let's get to the register. We don't really need much more from the index. We should be good. Let's cancel that. Let's file, save all, and then let's close it out. So we got the model chef. Like, yo, why did you delete everything out your model chef? Your register thingamajiggy. Because I did. You know what? Let's go to do the login first. The login's gonna be easier. Then we copy and paste, and then we just change a couple of names off of it, and then add more. And it's easier this way. So let's start in with the login registration. As you can see, let me show you. Let me click here for the error list. Got no errors. There's literally nothing anymore there. Hopefully this nav bar stood back on the top, like I said. Login and registration, there's nothing there but the picture. That's beautiful. I'm hungry looking at it. Okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do a card, but we're gonna make it awesome, right? So we go to div. Oh, we gotta click in it. We're gonna type in a div here. In this div, let's go enter here. We're gonna make a class of container. Okay. So that's the main div for all those all the extra stuff that's gonna be in it. This might get a little confusing, so pay attention. So that's div one, and let's put some space in between so we can always have some space so it looks cleaner. The second one is gonna have I call it the organizing of the stuff. Justified content between. Because I'm gonna have two things in it anyway. So we did that in index. Did we do that in index? Let's close this for now and that for now. And all that. And let's go to the chef index. I put it already. I didn't have it before, but I did put it already. So yeah, it's good. Let's go back to the login one. So we got the flex. This is how it's going to be styled in there. This one right here is also important because this is going to be class, and we're going to call it card. That's all it is. It's the card. It's the main container of the card. So it's like the card container. So now we're going to come over here and do multiply times 3, and it's you got a tab. That's my bag. Tab is gonna do 3 of them. You know what I'm getting at? And let's just put some enters here, some enters here, and some enters here. And then let's come over here and do that, and do that. There's 3 parts of this card when you make a card. You got the header, which is the top part, the footer, which is the bottom part, and inside here you got the form, which is the body. So let's start making the header. We got class, card header. All right, then here we got class, card body. And in the bottom, you're gonna have class, obviously, card footer. Now you could put card, and you see columns and other things of that nature. So that's like working with the pills and the tabs and stuff like that. I'm not going crazy with that. We're making a login thing. That's all we're making in this one. So, okay. So why did we delete our form before we finish doing our form? That's a good question. Let's go back in there. Let's enter. And the form doesn't need a class per se, but we got the ASP controller, which we forgot to leave in there. And the ASP controller is going to be the chef, right? And the ASP action is going to be what do we want this form to do? Log in. So we're going to open our controllers and look back at our chef controllers. So it's a post. So we go to login. Nope, that's what we're going to see. That's the partial view. We go to post. It's logged in. So let's double click that. Control C. Let's go back to login. Like I said, we're redoing some things. All right. So calm down. That's our login, and we also have to keep the method of post. So that's to say we could have just saved all that instead of deleting everything. But it's all good in the neighborhood. Now we're gonna have a few more divs, and this is where it can get complicated. In this div, what do we want on this div? This is the body. Okay, so this is the body. Let's go do the head. The header, we're gonna put sign in, like that. The footer, we're gonna put let's put a p tag here. But if you registered already, we didn't log in. So if you don't have, I hate when it does that. Don't have an account, log in. Register. Yeah, sometimes you gotta remember what you're trying to say here. So that's what that one's gonna have. This is gonna be sign in inside an H3 tag. So let's make that H. I don't know why I didn't do that first. And let's make that space and Control X and Control R. And I want to put something in this div right here because this is the first div, and this is gonna have a class of input group and then a form group. All right, and the reason I'm doing this is so I'm gonna do one only. All right, I'm gonna do the first one only. So inside this input group, we want another div. Inside this div right here, we want this class to be input group prepend. So if you start typing input and you see all this and you see you could arrow down, and that's what that's for. We're gonna have a span here, and you'll see in a few minutes why we have this span. And the prepend means like put it before whatever's coming in here, which is gonna be the input that we need, that we could have copied and pasted from our old stuff. But we want this to be input class first, input group text. So we could just come down here, and then in this right here, we want to put some font awesome stuff. That's why we went to font awesome. What is this? This is going to be the input of what? This is going to be the input of login email, right? So you got ASP for, you put login email, it knows what it is. Then you want to add a placeholder, right? And then you want to put email. That's all you have to put. And then we can make this the cooler by adding that example.com. That's a normal thing people do, right? I guess. So that's what that's for. And then you want to put a span underneath it, so it could be ASP validation for a login email. Remember before we had 3 of them with the label and everything? This is gonna look so much cooler. And before we look at this card, this simple card that I'm creating to make the front end look a lot better, let's go put email from Font Awesome. So we could go, you're gonna know, you know it well, email, which is gonna be an envelope. So we could leave this open so we could catch more stuff. We're gonna do everything free. I kind of like this one a lot and this one a lot, but I think I'm gonna go for the envelope. We know that's email, and we're gonna just, if you click right here, you left click it like a normal clicker, it's actually gonna give you what you want, and it pastes it for you. So you just press Control V. So that's gonna give you an envelope. So it's gonna put this envelope before it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take this text out real quick so you can see what it looks like without it, and then see what it looks like with it. So let's save everything. I'm gonna go to File and Save All real quick. I'm gonna press it. I know I click, and some people hate when people like use their mouse. They think it takes too much time. I don't care. So we got this login. That looks pretty cool, right? But it's not what we want. So let's stop that, and let's re-put that class in there, right? And let's see it again real quick so you can see why it looks stupid and then how it doesn't look stupid. You put that text line in there. So you see how it's bigger, it looks awesome, it's in the center, we don't have to do much, and well, that looks already cleaner than what we had before. So that's what we're going to use. And since the next one is going to be a password, which they don't have password in here, I checked, they have locks. So everything is free. You want to click on free stuff. So I like this lock for the password. We could put a key to make it the password as well if we wanted to, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to put the lock. So let's click on that, copy it. Actually, we have to copy this whole thing right here. Let's stop this. Let's copy this whole thing, Control C. Let's put a space there and a space here, Control V. And now we're just changing this out to password, login password, and then password. I type password because it's going to give me the login password. And for this key, we got to delete this key right here. So let's delete it. We don't need it anymore. Let's go back over here and click this so we can copy it again. Come back, Control V that, save it, and let's look what this looks like. It might look a lot better, I hope. All right, so that's starting to look really good, really good. I like that. Come over here, close this out. There's a few more things we need. I mean, there's really just like one more things we need. We could put extra stuff if you want it, but I'm gonna put another div in here, and then I'm gonna put, what am I gonna put it for the class? Probably nothing, because I'm gonna make a button. You could put an input button or whatever. Either way, you could put this button, or you could put like input and then value of the button, and then this right here would be login, like that. And then the type, we're not gonna worry about that. Oh, we want to worry about a submit, right? And then we're gonna add some classes to this input. Like I said, it doesn't really matter if it's that button or the other button. It's all gonna look the same. And we're gonna put button outline dark, and button warning. And what this is gonna do is make that color that we want. And the last thing we want to do is a float right. I don't want it right underneath it. I like floats. And let's put right. I don't know what float medium or large right is, so let's just put that anyway. So see what that looks like, and we'll take it off if we don't like it. So let's look what this does, and if we press log in now, it's gonna log in. So let's see if all this works, and I'm not going crazy. Wow, we're at 20 minutes and I'm halfway done with this section. All right, and let's see if we can log. Well, first let's click this. Well, we're gonna have to change that. Let's change that now, but let's see if we can log in first. We logged in, so let's log back out and come back over here, and let's change the ugliness on that. Most our stuff in here. This is why I like Bootstrap, because all you have to do is come over here and put a class. If I really wanted to, we could because I have the key bindings properly. We put a control alt, not control space. We put that here, and then we have two, and then we put class. Okay. We'll fix the span later. We're gonna put class, and we're gonna put equals this stuff and that stuff, and in this class we're gonna put background danger, and then we're gonna put text warning. I like those colors like that. And when you have it doing it like that, what happens is it won't give you your IntelliSense, which is fine. And let's stop it. Oh, that's another reason why I was messing up, because it wasn't stopped. That happens a lot. You will mess up. Everybody does. So we got this. So you see that outline yellow? I mean, the button wanting the outline dark, and then you hover over it, it becomes a dark button. So that's how it changes the color. When you click it, that looks so much better. Now we want this to be a certain space, like a certain. We don't want this to be right up next to it. We wanted to have it underneath it. And we want to probably have some space underneath it. And maybe change these colors into something else. We could do that part later, the colors. We're going to do it to white. And we're going to do it nicely. But we really got to stop messing around and change those ugly colors. Okay, so in order to have it underneath you, we're going to go to the CSS in here. Alright, and now we're gonna mess around with some more stuff. Okay, we're gonna go to dot container. What do we want? We want align contents center. We're gonna also want in the container the height to 100% again. No, yeah, we want the height 100%. That's right. 100%. And let's put top margin top. I'm sorry, I'm trying to look for margin, and then top, and we put that auto, and margin bottom auto. I kind of don't like auto for the top. We'll fix that later. We could change that inside on the Bootstrap CSS. But this is pretty cool right now. Now we want to mess with the card, and we want it to have a width of 400 pixels like that. And for now, that's all we really want to mess with. Yeah, you know what? Let's change the color on the background. Let's put background color. All right. And I want to do this Rgba. All right, so Rgba is going to be like a gold or a black. We're going to make it a black tint. It's going to be pretty cool. The A stands for, I don't know what the A stands for, but the last number we're going to put on this is the actual transparency of it. So let's do that. Now, if we press play, and all we're using is this background right here. That's going to look a lot cooler. We also want the color to be white. Let's just go Azure, whatever the color that is. That's Microsoft Azure white. Let's see. What else we want on that front? In the card, we want the font family. All right. And we want it to be this right here. Now, I won't lie to you. It's okay to forget. And that's why they have Google Fonts that teaches you how to do it. Let's just go to lobster here so we have the right stuff. We got the lobster here. Oh, this is at 64. Okay, so let's come here. When we put it in the CSS rules, see, imports the same thing. We want fam that stuff. Font family as lobster 2 like that. So that's how you're gonna put it inside your CSS. All right, so let's just copy over that and just control paste that. And the reason they have it like that is that's how it connects to this. All right, so let's just see what this looks like for now. And then we will go over to the register one and just do exactly the same thing, but with the register stuff. Let's see what it looks like. Now that looks kind of sweet. I really think that looks awesome. We could get another font thing over here, like what they call that. The yeah, let's do that and let's put sign in. And as you can see, I was messing with this before, so it knows what I want. And I actually just want that one, so I'm not gonna mess around and look around and say click this or click that. And we're gonna come right here. Let's close this out. Back to login real quick, and we're gonna come to sign in, and then we're gonna put a span next to it. And in that span, we're gonna press Control V, and then that's that. Look at that, it's already there. What else do you want? I love that font. It looks really nice with this. So I know for sure there's this user one that I want to get, user plus, I think it's called. It should be the first one. That's what I want for the next thing as well. So I'm gonna leave that there, and I'm not gonna try to mess with it here. So what do we do for, let's Control S this, and what do we do for the registration one, the register one? Well, we're gonna Control A, Control C, and right there we press Control V. We gotta go to the top and get rid of that. And we also have to change the font. We're gonna change this to register, right? Let's go back to our fonts. Let's click here. Let's go back here and put some spaces in between that. I highlight that and press Control V, so it looks nice. And you guys are gonna see all this later. Well, this one's just gonna be email. Let's just leave that one email. Let's make that one email, and then this one email. Now this one is just gonna be passwords. Control D, password, right? See how you have it right here, password right here. That's the reason it didn't give you IntelliSense. And if you did it wrong, well, you'll see it. So we want first name, last name. Let's Control C. All right, Control V, and we definitely want our, besides saying first name, we want this to be first name. Control D. We'll put that first name. Oh, I don't know what just happened, so let's see. Control. I see what happened. Oh, yeah. Nope. We want the spaces. I want the spaces. And it's saying the placeholder right here. It doesn't like that, so we want to put this to password. I mean, our first name. Why is this? Seems like something's wrong here. I don't know. We'll find out later. And this one is going to be, well, I don't know what's going on with this one. 1, 2, placeholder 1, 2. Well, that's weird. So let's make our lives easier and just paste that line back in there like that to see what I did wrong. I don't even know. And we're gonna put first name here, and then we're gonna double click here, type in L, last name, do it again. And we got the email already, and we got password. So Control C, enter, Control V, and we want this to be what? Confirm password, right? That's a big word to type in, so we just start typing and press tab. Alt Shift F to format it, everything right. This value is gonna be register. All right, and I love the colors. The only difference that we have now is in order to create somebody, this is not gonna be logged in. It's still gonna be chef. Let's go back to the chef controller, and where do we have register and create chef? So let's control C that by double clicking, and we don't really need to mess with that no more. And now that this is here, we do that. Control S. First name. I did something over here that messed something up there. I know that for sure. Did I take this out? No, that wasn't that. All right, so we're good right there. And that looks very nice so far. And we are at our 30-minute mark, so we'll come to finish editing it in the next video. So we basically kind of like redid this. So let's just press play for now, and I'll show you some font. We're gonna add the font before I let go of this video. That makes more sense. So you got the sign in, you got the register. That's kind of like too close. I want it at the edge. And the width we want to put like at 400. So when we do this or this, well, there it is. It's already there. Maybe we want to make that bigger. I don't know. We could do that later. But that looks a lot neater like that, and it's not going crazy. Like this would get bigger and this would drop. So that looks nice. We're going back here. That looks really nice. Maybe we want the top of these, both of them, to be at the top, and you know, that look nicer. But honestly, this looks nice. It would be better, I won't lie, it would be better if this was by itself and then this was by itself. But I didn't do it that way. And what I said we're gonna do before we go anywhere. Well, let's make sure we could put somebody in there. Your mama. Oh, this is not email. This is supposed to be first name. It didn't pick up first name. I didn't change the placeholder. So let's change that before we go any further. And let's come back out over here. Stop it. And let's change these placeholders that we didn't change. This should be first name, not email. So let's go back to first name. And this would be last name. And then we want to put users in there, not so we would just put you would just look that up and do this. And that would do that, and that's a nicer one for that. Click here. So on our names themselves, we don't want this one for the names. We don't want an envelope. We want a person, like a person, you know. Same thing over here. We want like a person versus that. We got the last name in the placeholder now. The email is right there. This should be password. So let's fix that here. And this should be confirm password. Confirm password. And let's double click in here. Control C. And let's change that over here in the login. Because as you can see, we did not change it here. Nobody said anything to me. And let's just see if we could, we got everything we need. Let's create somebody. First name, last name. Oh, one more. That's the last thing I want to do before I create somebody. And this would be like a 35-minute video. That's fine. Let's come here. In here, I want to put a class. Call it deflex. Right? And then I want to put justify content space between. Control S. And that will make it on one on each side, as you will see in a second. I really like this font. It's really nice. We're gonna mess with this right here, these icons right here. And as you see, this is an envelope, a password, user. And I didn't do it for this one, but you see how this comes all the way over here to the other side. Maybe we should have two separate widths on this. Like maybe this, maybe the width shouldn't be this much. In order to, we'll fix that later. But let's just make sure we could put somebody in there. Your mama. Oh, let's put mama. And put your. Let's put mama. Mama don't preach. All right. Now let's just put mama. Yes, that's her name. And her, she's at your mama at yes.com. Password 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Everybody's main password, right? So that looks really beautiful. It's allowing me to go to the dashboard. It's saved. We got view recipes. We got all this. Let's add a recipe with your mama. We're gonna call it mom's lasagna. No, mom's sandwich. I don't know how to spell sandwich, I guess. And then we're gonna come down to ingredients: ham, turkey, bread, mayo. That's it. Directions: put it in the bread. That's it. Just had that recipe. See, now she can still edit it. We can still delete it. Whatever we need to do. And then, you know, we could go to log out over here, log in and register. And it still looks decent. I don't like the length of this. I think they both need to be like a length less than that. So we'll do that next video.